walking on the wild side, wide open every time, letting it fly. You can find me high on the mountaintop, floating down a river rock, living for the ride. If you really want room to run, I'll show you where to get it done. Step off the back porch, jump across the fence, don't let the barbed wire catch you in the pants. I'll be waiting in the bottom by the Tom Bob Creek. Come on, take a walk on the wild side with me.
Hey, this is Jared with Double Trouble. So this year we're doing things a little bit differently. We have a spot, we've hunted for about 5 years. We decided, let's clear out a 1/4 acre food plot.
We went totally old school with the food plot. I mean, we got some rakes and a hoe. That sounded weird. Hoe is a garden utensil. That's enough of that. We had a rake, a hoe, a weed eater, and a blower. And that's it. And muscles. Right here, guns. And Jared filmed me doing all the work, just like usual.
We finally got our food plot cleared out, put our seed down, put our fertilizer in, pretty much just left it.
So we wanted to show what it takes to put a food plot in by hand. What do you think we spent, like maybe $100?
120 bucks maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A little sweat, elbow grease.
Cost you a Saturday and a $100 bill. That's not too bad for a food plot.
And that's 8 hours for 2 dudes. Well, really one person. Especially when Yahoo won't get off the camera and work.
You got to get the shot, man. Somebody's got to do the hard work. I got to do it. It's mentally stressing.
Yeah, I think your brain's a little mentally stressed. It took a while, but we finally got it accomplished. We went back a few weeks later, saw it was finally starting to come up good.
Nice and green coming up. Checked our cameras again, and we had a lot of deer coming through, all times of the day. So we're getting pretty excited for opening day.
My name's Kevin Weaver. I'm a touring drummer. I've been in Nashville for about 13 years, playing with different people on the road. I play sessions as well. Lately, I've been playing on the Nashville TV show. Also been touring with the Henningsons all year on the Brad Paisley tour, hitting all the amphitheaters across America. I love what I do, and I love to hunt as well. Me and Jared met when I was doing some construction work for his dad, actually.
I'm in the construction business with my dad, so my days pretty much consist of driving around, managing projects, sip a lot of coffee, and I point a lot of fingers. I drive around all day visiting my job sites. I spend a lot of time in the office, but I'm almost constantly thinking about deer and turkey hunting. It's hard to stay focused at work when you know deer season's right around the corner.
We started working together, realized we both love to hunt, and that first turkey season is hit the woods. We shot 2 gobblers out of one group.
That deer season, early in the season, we killed 2 does out of the same tree in the same morning. And after that, Double Trouble was formed.
Double Trouble, PM.
Kevin had a camera, we just started taking it with us.
Jared and I decided to start our own YouTube page. Double Trouble Hunting, what is it, Jared? YouTube.com// Double Trouble Hunting. We decided to start filming a bunch of tips for beginning hunters. Not everybody's grown up in the woods like me and Jared. Lo and behold, Brad from Tom Bob Outdoors contacted us. They said they like our footage, what we've been doing, and they asked us to team up with them and film an episode. So me and Jared are super pumped this year. We got our food plot, but now it's time to get in the woods. 2013, opening day of bow season, people. Jared, you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, come on.
I'm ready.
And we're gonna be waiting on them. Come on, buddy. Opening day, bring it. Bam.
It's opening morning and we could not be more excited.
Perfect morning. It's still,
We got our wind right, the temperature's cool enough.
you can hear everything in the woods.
We got a squirrel that's going off. Don't say anything.
but iPads are coming in.
The clock is ticking, and we're looking around, not really seeing much at all.
Seriously. Well, crap. Opening day, didn't see nothing. Pretty uneventful. Smelled a skunk, and we got skunked. Because we didn't get nothing.
For some reason today, the deer just not moving. So we climbed down and we're going to check our trail cameras to see what we got in the plot. Turns out we got a lot of deer still in here. There's a lot of small bucks, there's a couple decent sized deer. We didn't see anything. It's always a good morning to be in the deer stand no matter what you see.
So we just feel pretty good right now that there are gonna be some deer on the ground in the next couple weeks on this property.
Stay tuned for more Tom Bob Outdoors.
Friends in wild places. So we get back to my house and we're in the basement looking through all of the pictures of deer. It's great. We got some sparring bucks going on, and I get an email.
It's the landowner. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to hunt that farm anymore.
You know, it's just heartbreaking. And I'm really thankful that we had the opportunity to hunt this property, but of all the years for it to happen, it had to be this year.
We've put in hours of work. We've spent so much time filming and prepping and trying to get all of our bases covered, and we're not going to be able to hunt it anymore.
To have done all of this work, it just sucks.
At this point, we don't have a place to hunt at all, and it is literally opening day of season.
So we just got back to my place. I got an email and we just lost the Dixon 50 spot. That was gonna be our whole season of hunting and filming.
That sucks, man. Ugh, we put in so much work. Food plot, all those little bucks just wanting to be turned into backstraps.
And that 11 point last year?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
So we get on the phone, start making phone calls, calling everybody we know, just asking, seeing if we can find somewhere we can hunt the rest of our season and get some footage.
We calling friends and family and colleagues and everybody. We were just thinking of anybody that we've hunted with, owns land, or...
We get a hold of our good old buddy Mike Brandon. He's got a farm about an hour and a half west of Nashville. Hey man, can we hunt? Sure, come on out. It's far enough away that you don't want to just go out for a morning.
Decided to bring the wives along and make a whole weekend of it.
Just got settled into my stand. Got the kids settled in. Got my wife settled in, and I took a shower, got dressed, and came on out here. It's real thick back here. Not a lot of people like to hunt back in this thick stuff. The longest shot I can get is maybe 25 yards. It's looking good. It's a little windy this afternoon. I've only got a couple hours before it gets dark, so I'm gonna shut up and sit down and see what happens. Come on, buddy.
Cannot wait to see what walks out. And lo and behold, something actually moves through this afternoon. I turn around and this spike has snuck up to within about 30 yards of me. I had no idea he was there. The one thing you got to know about us is we are meat hunters first. Early in the bow season, we will shoot the first legal deer that walks under our stand. I go to stand up, get my bow up, get the camera ready. I'm getting on him and getting ready to draw back and shoot. And he moves just down out of the frame of the camera, so I have to tilt it down just a little bit. When I reach up to go do that, he sees me and he's gone. He walks off about 15 yards, starts to look like he's gonna give me a shot. I click my teeth and he bolts and he's out of there.
When I got in here, I had to cut a couple shooting lanes because it was so thick. You could tell by his body language he knew something was up and came right downwind of me.
So it turns out the deer was in the frame the whole time, but he just couldn't see the viewfinder because he can't see Jack.
I can see fine. I did it. You know what I can see? You're in my shot.
He's blind.
This is what happens all the time. He's a camera hog is what he is. So I don't end up getting a deer this afternoon, but I'm pretty hopeful tomorrow's going to be pretty good. Kevin's coming up in the morning. He's going to hunt, and hopefully he'll have better luck than I did this afternoon.
Stay tuned for more Tom Bob Outdoors, Friends in Wild Places. After calling everybody we know, finally got a hold of Mike Brandon. We are at the cabin. Don't wake up Jared's kids. He said nobody's going to be out there this weekend. The hard thing about hunting this property is we haven't been there in about 5 years. We know where we shot deer before, but we're basically going to go in blind.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Jared, tell us about last night.
Man, I got in the stand. It was real windy. A little bitty spike came by, and I'm at the point where I will shoot anything.
Don't do it. Okay, I'll do it.
He knew something was up, and he took off, and no go.
November 2nd. We got 35 degrees. It's going to be double trouble morning. Let's get him. It's only 6:15, and I've already seen 3 deer getting chased. Found a good scrape line right on this little field. I think they'll be coming from this field right up this logging road. We'll pop them in 20 yards. Come on. So I finally found my stand, and it's not long before stuff starts moving. There's some does chasing each other around about 80 yards away. Anytime you got some early movement before 7 o'clock, odds are you're gonna have one on the ground. At about 7:30, this little guy just comes walking right down at about 20 yards, and he makes a turn to the left. And I popped it, and it was sweet. Passed through, saw everything on my viewfinder. I thought it was great.
This is our luck this year. We go through all the trouble of planting a food plot. We lose the property that we planted the food plot on. We can't find anywhere to hunt. When we do find somewhere to hunt, we finally get on the deer, and the camera malfunction on us.
Got the truck. Jared's out of the woods. He didn't see nothing. Here we go. To the woods to find a deer. Come on. Is a good sign right there. That rage.
So we go through, we go ahead and track his deer, film everything, knowing that we still do not have deer on film.
Good find deer. Well, finally got one on the ground. It's a small deer, but you know what? At this point, we're looking to put some meat in the freezer. With the year we've had and the luck that I've had, this is my 10th hunt, and I've only had deer in front of me 2 times. I will happily take a little spike. It's your turn, man. Come on. Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good eating deer right there.
So we had a great weekend at the Brandon farm.
But we still knew as soon as we got back to town, we were still gonna have to find a place to hunt for the rest of the 2013 season.
So go back on the road. I'm sitting on the front lounge of the bus talking to Jacob Calloway. Turns out Jacob loves to hunt too.
Kevin and I met on tour with the Henningsons. The lead singer, Claire, is my wife. And so we met Kevin, he's our drummer, kind of talking about hunting. Hunters, that's what you do, is you talk about hunting. With him losing his land this year, thankfully we're able to get in here and do this.
So Jacob was nice enough to let us hunt his property. And we get out there, he's already got a food plot started. He made his food plot about like ours.
So Jacob calls us up, he's hitting the woods, it's a perfect evening. I can't go, Kevin can't go, so Jacob goes by himself.
I got out here a lot later than I was expecting to. I ran out, got into the first stand I could get to. I mean, it wasn't even a half an hour. And I hear some leaves crunching up over my shoulder. And my heart got to racing. They finally fed down into this grassy field. Knocked her clean over. dropped her in her tracks. 2 little does ran off a little bit and stopped. I shot the second one and she ran off not even 50 yards and piled up. So it was a good night.
I don't care what you say, man. If shooting a doe isn't exciting to you, man, you gotta find something else to do. That is awesome.
Double does, double trouble. It was awesome, man. Hey, this is Jacob Calloway. You're watching Friends in Wild Places with Tom Bob Outdoors.
So go back on the road. I'm touring a bunch. I normally like to have more time to hunt, but this year I did a lot of touring, and Jared's been working a lot.
It's early muzzleloader season. I wasn't able to go with Kevin this morning, but he decided to go out by himself.
It's my turn. It's Kevin. I'm in my truck, pulling a solo hunt, and I'm doing all the work once again because Jared can't be here. The rut's on, people. Come on, let's hit the stand. It's another one of those perfect mornings. Nice and cold. The sun's coming up. Everything's waking up.
We are just about to the peak of rut. In the next week or so, there's a scrape that's about 60 yards that way. I've got a rub that I can see from my tree stand here.
It's right in between 2 fields, and they've been walking through this ridge that I'm on, and I'm feeling pretty good about this morning.
The rut is here. We're gonna see a big puff of white smoke. And then we're gonna see a white belly on the ground.
I'm not seeing any deer though. So, like, man, am I gonna get skunked again?
Well, it's 7:50 and I haven't seen 1 deer. I've rattled twice. It's been about a half hour since the last time I've rattled. Man, I want to see a deer right now.
Just about that time, I looked through the woods and I could just see some legs walking. And he was coming straight my way. So I've got 2 camera angles going, getting everything positioned right because I'm hunting by myself. He wasn't big, but at this point, I've only got 1 small deer in my freezer, and that's not enough deer meat to last the whole year. My wind was blowing this way, and he's walking this way. And so I had to take a quick shot, or else he was going to be downwind of me, and he would have busted out of here so quick. Pow! Puff of white smoke, and he runs off.
Yeah. I just took a pretty quick shot. He ran off really fast. It looked pretty good though. He was just cruising along here. He was about to be straight downwind of me. I'm gonna climb down here just a little bit. I think I hit him in the shoulder. Yeah.
So I climbed down, walked to the spot where I shot him. It was about 50 yards away. I've got good blood.
Let's go find this buck.
Get everything packed up, and I start tracking this deer. I'm walking down the hill. I'm following the blood trail. There's blood up on a tree. I mean, it's just a really good blood trail. But he went straight down this mountainside into this bottom.
Wow, he's gone far. I've already come about 100 yards.
Starting to get a little nervous that he, maybe I hit him in a bad spot or something. But I look up on the next ridge. There he's laying right by a tree on the ground.
Yes. Got him. Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
He's a smaller 6-point, but like I said, we're hunting for meat.
We're not trying to manage deer out here with the season we've had, and we're just thankful to have some meat for the freezer. Come on, buddy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm happy to have a deer on the ground, on film.
We go through all the trouble of planting a food plot. We lose the property that we planted the food plot on. We can't find anywhere to hunt.
After scouting new property, going through everything that we've gone through this year, Finally got some good meat for the freezer, and I got one on film. So thanks for watching Double Trouble. It's our first episode. We're really happy to be working with Tom Bob.
Make sure you check us out on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook.
Follow us on Instagram. We put a lot of funny stuff up there. I think it's funny. You think it's funny? You think it's funny?
All right, close us out.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Is that good?
That'll work.
All right.
Let's go. All right. The dog will hunt.